Look at those knuckles.
What's wrong with them?
They're just a little bruised, beat up. You like in a boxing outfit or something like that? You doing some jujitsu we don't know about?
I have homuncular features.
That's got to be a good. I don't know what that means. It's got to be good.
It means monkey-like.
So they're strong. So you're very strong, is what you're saying.
I'm compact. I have the density of a dying sun. And I'm a furry gentleman. You know, what can I tell you? I'm the kind of primate you can, take home to mother. What are we doing? Come back. We gotta record. Oh, we are recording. All right. Welcome to Roleplay Roulette, the show we take actual scenarios, practice them, and demonstrate them so hopefully you can learn and apply it in your own selling environment. Today we're talking about how to generate active referrals. In this scenario, Rich Austin is going to be the salesperson, Tom Mallens is going to be his client, and Rich is going to walk us through his strategy and talk track as to how he asks for and tees up a referral conversation with a client. So with that said, Rich, Tom, take it away.
So Tom, I'm excited about what we're going to be doing together in partnering in helping out your firm and obviously offering our services. I got to tell you, working with you has been a bit of a breath of fresh air. And here's why I say that. You obviously know what you want. You communicate at a high level and you're not afraid of change. And so this entire process has been easy for me. I might even say ideal. And so here's my challenge. I'm looking to aggressively grow my book of business this year. And I'm looking in particular for people that fit precisely your mold, those three things that I mentioned. They care about their people and their business. They're not afraid of change, and they have an open and honest dialogue. So would it be inappropriate of me if I were to ask you, for the folks that are in your inner circle, who might I ask for an introduction to? And by the way, it's okay if you're either not comfortable with it or you just don't know anybody.
Yeah, no, no problem at all. More than happy for you to ask.
So if you're to look at your Rolodex, or if you're to think of the people that you work with, either inside of your organization, outside of your organization, who fits that mold? Who's like a Tom Mallens?
Oh, gosh, there's a question. And you thinking like to go through now?
We can do this now, Tom. If you need some time and you'd rather put 15 minutes on the calendar, we can certainly do that at another date. And by the way, here's what I haven't asked you yet. What I haven't asked you yet is who can I introduce you to? Who might I know that might be a good fit for your business that you might want to do business with, number one, or number two, perhaps you're looking for a service or a product that I can't provide, but I, blessed to know a lot of people in a lot of different industries and would be happy to reciprocate. So you tell me, what would work best for you?
Oh, really appreciate that, Rich. Yeah, that would be great. Maybe I know some people I could introduce you to, and perhaps vice versa, Yeah. More than happy to help. So, there's a couple of people I got in mind. What's the best way you prefer to be introduced?
Let's do this. Why don't we, if you don't have time now, why don't we set up a call, let's say next week. Let's just pick a time that works on our diaries. And once we've done that, let's talk about who we might each bring to the table and why. And typically how the process goes is if somebody's being introduced to me, I usually ask the person who's doing the introducing to reach out to them, figure out whether or not they've got any palatability in having a conversation with somebody like me. And if they do, then we make the introduction. We can certainly do it, all three of us on Zoom, or it can be an email introduction. I've got a template I could send your way that makes it easy to do this. You can come up with your own, or you can manipulate my introduction however you want, but usually that's what's worked best in the past. And I would reciprocate that as well if there's somebody in my network that I can introduce you to that you're looking for. So why don't we just decide to make it something a little bit more explicit, put time on the calendar, let's say next week, if that works for you, and go from there.
Yeah, perfect. And, if I introduce people, I usually do it via email. So if that works for you too, that would certainly make life easy for me.
Yeah, and we don't take this lightly. We don't take it lightly, the fact that you might be opening up your center of influence to somebody like myself. And so we'll honor them in the same way that we honored you. If they have interest, we're happy to explore that interest and investigate it. If they don't, no harm, no foul, then we'll call it what it is. So we would treat them as we would treat you. And then obviously the folks that we're going to introduce you to, I would call them personally, make sure that they're open to a conversation first, and then make the connection. So if that's an okay process, that's what we could roll with.
Yeah, no, that sounds great, Rich. Completely happy. And, I hope I can be of help to you too.
Lovely. Thank you, Tom. Much appreciated.
So here's another variation you might like to try. This time I'm going to be the salesperson and Rich is going to be the client. So we'll imagine we're in a meeting and we'll take it from here. Hey, Rich, just curious, do you get a lot of business through word of mouth or referrals, that kind of stuff?
Yeah, we do. The majority of our business is referral.
Okay, yeah. Well, me too. I don't know about you. I've always found it a really, one of the best ways to get some of the best kind of opportunities, really. So can I make a suggestion?
Sure, Tom, shoot.
I know we've got a meeting next week in the diary. Would it make sense that maybe we block off, 10, 15 minutes towards the end of that? And during the coming week, please feel free. You can go on my LinkedIn and maybe just look and see if I've got any connections or contacts that you think on the surface, it looks like you might like an introduction to. I'll do the same with your contacts and connections, and then we can sit down and just figure out, look, are we comfortable introducing each other to any of these people? And of course, if you're not in any way, then, we won't take it any further. That's no problem. But does that sound like a good use of a little extra time at the end of the meeting?
Yeah, definitely. There might be some people on my LinkedIn I'm connected to that I don't necessarily know that well. I would assume it'd be the same with you. I think it's a great idea.
Yeah, perfect. So any problems, technical problems with LinkedIn, give me a ring. And of course, finally, I know that if you're introducing someone, you're putting your social capital on the line, if you will. So not going to do anything until you give me the go ahead.
Yeah, sounds fair. Absolutely. It'd be a good use of our time.
You just saw two great examples from Rich and Tom as to how you may tee up a referral conversation. Here's the thing. Many of our clients, they want to help us. We have to make it easier for them. So here are some of the takeaways that Rich and Tom shared. The first that jumped out at me is reciprocity. Not only are we asking for a referral, we're also offering to make introductions to our network. The other part that really stands out to me is this idea of a little bit of vulnerability, but it's also trusting the relationship. So you heard Tom and Rich in their own way say, hey, I'm not going to take any action until you actually check on your end to make sure the individual is open to a conversation. And then from there, most importantly, there is a warm intro. So not just I'm going to reach out to them, but they're going to introduce us via an email. And tactically, let's have an email template. Let's have something we created that we can send out to our clients. And with slight modifications, they can send it out with really no effort on their end. The other thing that Tom said I really want to tie into is the idea of social capital. A lot of times people who want to make referrals to us need to be reminded that we are going to trust that relationship. We're going to honor it, and we are going to be the way we are in selling is completely no pressure and welcoming to the conversation without any expectations other than the warm introduction. So with that said, this is the Roleplay Roulette team signing off. In the comment section, if you have a scenario you want us to run through, feel free to tell it to us, put it in the chat section. Until next time, good luck and happy selling. Are we good?